You have to give it for free. You know my son isn't normal. So, for context, I used to be a teacher at an English school here in Brazil. Most of my students were young kids, and usually the other teachers would send me the kids who had some difficulties in learning. That was probably because I would do little games and different activities that often motivated them during the class. Most teachers wouldn't do things like that because we were only paid for the time we spend doing school things. So I kind of worked extra for free. But I didn't care as long as the kids were happy. Well, then there was this kid that the other teacher said was a nightmare. I related to him really quickly, and it was quite clear to me that he had ADHD, and so do I. So it wasn't hard to find a way to make him interested in my classes. But the fun didn't last long. His mom called me one day and it went, "Annoying, Mom. Hey, darling, how are you?" Me. "I'm fine. What about you? Is there anything I can help you with?" AM. "Oh, I'm glad you asked. My son is enjoying your classes very much. He told me you play games with him and such." Me. "I'm really happy to hear that. I find games a better way to learn." AM. "He said the same?"
Ha ha ha. So I came to talk to you about something. I already contacted the school and they said it was a great idea. So I would like for you to spend some time with my son and play a lot of educational games with him. Me. So, you want me to him extra English classes? My schedule is quite busy these days. I'm not sure if I can do it, but there are a bunch of other teacher at the school. AM. Hey, don't worry about it. I'll contact the school and you won't need to teach any other kid. So you can focus on my son and teach him everything he needs to know for school. Me. Do you want me to teach him every school subject? AM. Yes. You're his private teacher. Me. I'm only qualified to teach English for beginners. I can't teach anything else. And I want to keep my classes. AM. But he can only learn with you. He needs you. Me. Fine. I can try give him a few classes, but I'll charge the same amount as I would get at the school since I'm letting to do that job in order to work for you. AM. Charge. Me. Yes, AM. I didn't know I had to pay you. I already pay the school. I don't need to pay you. Me. I'm an employee at an English school. You pay them for English classes, AM. But you said you're not qualified. It doesn't make sense to pay you. Me. If you want someone qualified, there are a bunch of private teachers out there who can do amazing jobs, especially with kids that can't learn easily. AM. But their prices are too high. You're being petty. You know it's difficult not being normal. Me. You shouldn't use those words. Your kid is really smart. He just need a little bit more motivation. You can do that yourself if you try. AM. Are calling me a bad mom? You know what? I'll get your ass fired at that school. Well, she did try. And my boss told me to the job even I wasn't getting paid because the mom was popular or something. And it would be a bad thing if she talked trash about the school. I left that job after 2 weeks because they would do anything to keep the students. And I was underpaid, LOL. Story 2. Karen reels me in with a good salary only to say later it was a typo. ATFM, A the family member Karen, the villain of this tale, not real name, obvi, I, fresh out of HS, was getting tired of working one part-time and two casual jobs, so I took the advice from AFM to interview to be a caretaker for her friend's kids. The interview went well, if not slightly creepy. Karen kept saying how pretty both her and her husband thought I was, and how if this arrangement goes well, we could look into you moving in with us. May have been innocent, but did not seem like it. She then goes on a tirade about how her past daycare was abusive for not feeding her child when he threw a tantrum and refused to eat the lunch the daycare provided him. She did admit to me he was still given snacks throughout the day. Then went into what the job entailed. I would work 48 hours a week. I had to take the children, male toddler, female baby, somewhere exciting every day. Don't take them to the same old park every day. I was to clean, go shopping, and prepare food for her kids throughout the day. Not that frozen crap. And supper for them at least twice a week, if I felt comfortable. It would be nice to come home to a home-cooked meal not made by me, wink wink. Side note, the toddler was allowed to drink pop and eat candy chocolate, but I couldn't feed this kid some dino nuggets. After the interview, I went home only to realize in all that chaos, I never asked about how much I was to be paid. Well, I did near the beginning, but she said we would negotiate later. So I messaged her. She replied, "How does $11 per sound?" I was excited. Though the job seemed like a lot of hard work and paid a little less than my other jobs, I got way more hours. So I accepted. Later, we were talking about what day I would start, 2 weeks from then, and then she said,
Starting off, we agreed on 1,100 per month. If after a month you are doing a good job, we can change it to 1,200. Wait, what? Maybe $11 is too much for a full-time sitter in the early 2010s? IDK. I message her immediately. Me. What? You messaged that I would be making $11. 00 per hour? She never said hour. But like $11 for anything other than an hour didn't make sense. Her. That's ridiculous. That's more than I pay at daycare. I never said that. I then sent her a screenshot with the message mentioning making 11.00 per her. Oops. I must have got the punctuation wrong. I meant 1,100 per me. Why didn't you clarify it was per month? Her. You didn't ask. She then tried negotiating the price. Well, we could probably pay 1,200 right now, but that would mean no raise for quite some time. After this, I told her I wasn't going to do it because I would legit be making like $5 an hour. She then left me 4 voicemails saying I was being very selfish, unprofessional, and I should have brought this up sooner. I then ghosted. This was probably a butthole move. I then heard from TFM that Karen was forced to go back to the old daycare. Also, please keep in mind, these people were very well off. Richer families, good jobs. Story 3. If you're willing to give me that for free, then why not give me double? Medium. So I just had a choosing beggar encounter. This guy messaged me about plants I'm selling. He comes by my house and said he had a big pond he's trying to fill with plants, so I was like, yeah man, no worries. I'll give you more than I normally would to help you out. So I gave him what I would normally sell for about $40 for $5. It's frogbit, a floating plant. I have a lot of them, so it wasn't a huge loss. I typically sell a handful for $5, but I gave him half a gallon-sized Ziploc worth. Then he says, okay, how about I give you $10 for double that? I was like, I gave you substantially more than I normally would. I'm okay with giving you this for $5, but I can't give you double for $10. But you said that's $5 worth, so double is $10. No, I said this is like $40 or $50 worth, but I'm doing you a favor. Just put more for 10. So I put in what would normally be $5 worth. Him. That's not nearly enough. I'm trying to fill a pond. Me. Yeah, I know that's why I'm giving you so much for a favor. He was obviously disgruntled. Then asked me about the largest plant I have in my aquarium, my Amazon sword. This thing is about, if not, over 2 feet tall and about 1.5 foot wide full of leaves, and took me a year to grow from propagation. How much for that one? Me? I couldn't sell that for less than $60. Seeb, $60? No way. Would you take $5? Me. Yeah, man, I'm not feeling that generous today, but I have a much smaller one I could give you for $5. CB. Didn't you hear I'm trying to fill a pond? I need big plants. Me. These will grow into big plants. That's how they work. CB. My local pet store sells those for $3. Me. Buy them there? CB. No, I want a big one. You know, I drove a long way to get here. Me. Yeah, man, not my problem. At this point, I was just done and I said, well, you got your plants. $10, please. Then he hands me $20 and I'm like, oh, thanks. And he's like, my change? I'm like, I don't have change for $20. This motherfucker looked at me sideways like I fucked his sister or something, then scoffed and asked if I had Zelle. He sent it and I let him out the door. Dude was genuinely thinking that I was trying to pull one over on him.